hello, and welcome out to the good, the bad, and the geeky. I don't know why I'm singing to you like this right now, but I have some amazing things to tell you. Just stay tuned. I'll get to them soon. I'm rhyming again. I don't know why. Oh well. Welcome out to the good, the bad, and the geeky. I'm Nick Argenbright, aka Nick Nitro, and I'm here to tell you about some really fun things I'm looking forward to of 2017. But before we get to that, I don't even remember what I was singing about a second ago. I literally was it was horrible. I apologize for that. But let's give a big shout out to our sponsors like Packrat Comics. Go to packratcomics.com for all your comicking needs. And they're one of the best comic book shops around that I've ever been to. And I've been to a few, being a nerd for a long time, or a geek, however you prefer. I prefer geek, honestly. But we've taken the terms back, so yeah. But go to Packrat Comics. One of my favorite features, if you follow them online, is their Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter feeds. They all kind of blend together, but sometimes they have different things on each one. And I love their new Comic Book Day videos. They also are just really great people, too. They do a lot for the community here in Columbus, Ohio, where I'm from. So please check them out. Go to packratcomics.com and really check out their Facebook page. You'll love it. Our show is also sponsored by audibletrial.com/goodbadgeeky. Now, we're not sponsored by that link, but if you go to that link, which is for Audible, the website URL being, again, audibletrial.com/goodbadgeeky. They have over 200,000 titles to choose from. You can go in there, and it's an Amazon company. So Amazon, it's a name you trust. It's a name you like. It's a name you want to, have warm, nice feelings with. All right, so check them out. audibletrial.com/goodbadgeeky. Get an audiobook, 30-day free trial. It's pretty great. It's pretty awesome. You'll enjoy it. I do. It's a lot of fun. Also, we are part of the It's All Been Done Presents Network, or IABD for short. I think I said IABDP. Ooh, forgot the P. But speaking of IABDP, IABD Presents is hosting a short story competition. Our inaugural theme is I Knew You Before the Fall of Rome. Rules are on the website at iabdpresents.com, and the deadline is February 28th. Winners will be released as part of an online collection, and a grand prize winner will see their tale be recorded in audio format. Ooh. There's also potential for some royalties, so check it out. Again, iabdpresents.com. I feel like I'm not saying that right. iabdpresents.com. Okay, I am. Okay, cool. And before we get into the rest of our show, I always try to tell people to check out a little fan podcast I have called The Magically Unauthorized Misadventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. And right before I started recording this tonight, I found out that, and this is pretty cool, that I won Best Writing of a Fan Adaptation Production. And so for everyone out there who listens to this show and listens to that show too, thank you so much. It means the world for me. And honestly, in a way, it helps. It just further helps 2017. 2017 is about, at least for me creatively as a writer, to really recharge myself and focus on what's important, and trying to really focus and channel my energy. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to, you guys, is the March episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour. And the reason for that is because I would say I wrote 75% of it. Not intentionally. What I mean by that is that I've written some of these way, way far out in advance that when Jimmy put them together, like when they were going to go live, they're all happening to converge on one big episode. I even wrote an ad along with someone else, which is I'm really looking forward to it. I'm so excited, you guys. I mean, I'm just so excited. But yeah, so 2017 for me is really about kind of refocusing my creative energy and trying to be positive and stepping away from negativity and stepping away from things that, create a negative creative space in my head. I think as artists, we all are very full of self-doubt. And one of the things I realized in 2016 is that self-doubt is pretty bad. But, if I let people who aren't even really critics per se, but they're being critical, I need to accept it, of course, yes, but I need to not be as concerned with it and just kind of revel in that, because that's what I think. And I think a lot of people, that's why, people who actually do work that is more mass consumed than my little shows are, sadly. I wish they would be, but at the same time, realistically, that they're not. But for the people that do listen to it and they have critiques or criticism, that's fine and awesome. But sometimes every once in a while you get like a negative criticism or critique, and it creatively throws you off. And yeah, so this was a nice little a nice way creatively to start 2016. I've been working with Jimmy on the March script for It's All Been Done Radio Hour, and I'm really excited for that. I hope you guys, if you're in the Columbus area, will come see it. I'll plug it when we get a little bit closer to it, because we have other cool things to plug on the IABD Presents network. But I was really happy for that. So thank you all so much for writing in. And first off, whoever nominated me, I still think it's my mom. She says no, but I finally asked her about it. But thank you so much. You have no idea. And in the grand scheme of things too, and I mean this with all due respect, this is not a worldwide. I mean, it's on the World Wide Web, as they used to call it back in the day. But it's not a it's not like the Academy Award. It's like people in other countries could probably go, oh, Oscar, Academy Award, oh, yes. Like, I generally know what you're talking about. The Audioverse Awards, sadly, not as much, because, radio plays are making a comeback, audio productions are making a comeback, but they're not like the level that movies are, right? So, but still, it's a very nice award to win. And again, it kicks off 2017 really well. All right, I'm just rambling about this right now, so I'm going to stop. Again, the problem with doing shows by yourself sometimes. So, and we are working on getting things, getting some other people in here. It's just, the holidays have been really, really hard, schedule-wise. Jimmy especially, who was always the go-to guy, we have to plan things sometimes, in some cases, like weeks and weeks in advance, because, which, again, is fine, but it makes it a little bit more hard to get people in here. And I've also been working with Nathan, who is difficult as ever, but we're trying to get him scheduled to do a few episodes as well. So please stay tuned. We appreciate your patronage, to our show. And keep listening at gbgpodcast.com, and we will hopefully, earn your listenership. Okay. I also want to say thank you for everyone who enjoyed my kind of really super sappy 2016 episode, Farewell 2016 episode. I just felt the need to do it, and I really, like it was just from the heart, and I just had to do it. So, thank you again for listening. That we got a lot of hits and critiques, and positive critiques, and love for doing that. So thank you so much. So anyway, where was I? All right, so let's talk about some things that I think are just really fascinating. Maybe I can soapbox a bit, maybe I don't. For those living under a rock, or a globe, if for that matter, the Golden Globe winners were announced. To me, I thought the ones that were kind of neat. The big winners were Hugh Laurie and Tom Hiddleston for The Night Manager, Donald Glover for Atlanta, which I've not seen Atlanta yet. I've heard good things about it, but it's just one of those shows that looks really good, but also looks kind of very depressing. And I don't know if I can handle that. I'm starting to move more towards comedy shows. like there's a few dramas I stick to, but for the most part, it's very Sarah Paulson, who is a wonderful actress. I love her dearly. I'm not a big fan of I forget the producer's name. He's the one that did Glee, and he also produces the American Crime Story and the American Horror Story sagas. But she won. I'm so happy that she won. She won for The People versus O.J. Simpson. Now, I finally saw Kubo and the Two Strings, and it was a great movie. But here's the thing: it was probably my favorite favorite film of the last year, but I don't think it deserved to win Best Animated Film. And I believe Zootopia, rightfully so, won that. And my logic being that I feel like Zootopia actually had something very, very much to say. Kubo kind of did too, but I mean, it was very more of a classic story. While Zootopia was on the surface one thing, but underneath it was really about all this other things, and especially in today's climate, in today's world. I remember watching that with my now wife, and I was just both like, oh my God, like this is totally talking about very tough issues, and like, look, I'm a big baby usually, but I was a sobbing mess during that movie. Like I grew up in a small town, which is, I hate to say, it was really racist. It still kind of is in very unique ways. And I never liked that side of that town, and I hope, and if you listen to the show, I might make jokes or whatever like that, but, Nathan and Jimmy and I will all kind of ha ha ha, but, we were also taught, despite our surroundings, that, that racism is not good. It's not, it's something that, we're all equal, right? And, and growing up with that, I felt the movie, it hit me in a particular spot, and especially in today's climate, political climate, where there's a lot of talk about this stuff again, I really felt that Disney did something I hadn't felt Disney did in a long time, which is they made an entertaining movie, but really gave us something to think about, and maybe the kids to think about too, in a way that maybe they weren't really even thinking of. And then finally, anything from La La Land was nominated and then won, including Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. Now, I've not seen La La Land. I want to, kinda. Matter of fact, at the time I'm recording this, we're probably going to go see Manchester by the Sea, which I kind of don't want to see. I don't even know why. Like, it looks like it's going to be freaking fantastic, but yeah, it's very, very strange. I don't know why I'm not like super pumped about it. Like, I think it's like, to me, it's about the spectacle. I think I heard Chris Hardwick talk about this with was it Ian McShane or someone? Maybe was it Mark Hamill? Which people go to the theaters for an experience now, and with money being tight the way it is, even though I've made some very stupid purchases lately, all going on my credit card, which I was then told in a budget meeting with my wife, which, by the way, those are actually pretty good. If you don't have a weekly or bi-weekly budget meeting with your significant other, you really should. It's does it create drag-out fights, or, as I like to say, discussions? Oh, yeah, sometimes it does, but it's actually very positive. You're always on the same page, and it's really helpful. When I lost my job, that really kind of kicked everything, in the face, kinda, and so. But there's been a few Kickstarters I've backed. They're only like $40 or so, but they're like again, Kickstarter, which is really awesome. And not only were the projects awesome, but I've been thinking about finishing up UTMNT issue 2. And at least finish the promise I made to Cortland, which is to do the Raphael micro series. So I've been kind of working slowly on Kickstarter, and when I was doing that, I would see, oh my God, oh, that looks so cool. I remember reading that, or oh my God, Sam and Fuzzy has a whatever. So I've made some poor decisions from my wallet, but some awesome decisions for my eye holes and my brain when I read. So I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm really excited. to see those projects be completed. But with money being tight, it's always difficult to go to the movies. Like I enjoy, I used to not ever get any of that, but probably about a year and a half after I got my surgery done, I started eating popcorn, which I never used to do that. I don't know why. I mean, I would, but not really. And now it's kind of like part of the experience. Like, it's kind of like the old bit from Eddie Izzard, right? Where you're just sitting there and you're like, and you're just watching the trailers. And then by the time, like, maybe the first 10 minutes of the movie starts, oh, the popcorn's done. Ooh. And then you can just focus on, and I also feel too, maybe this part was from the Mark Hamill podcast on Nerdist, but, kids today, and people for that matter too, we're very spoiled. We can watch a movie, we can pause something, we can ask questions, but we're not really, and I'm not going to lie, I love my wife, but sometimes she will do that when we watch stuff at home. She will pause it for a second, question, why are they doing this? And it's like 10 minutes into the movie or the show. It's like, I don't know. Let's watch to find out. And she can't do that during a movie theater. And sometimes I can't either. Like, sometimes I will ask. I remember when we were watching Gilmore Girls, it was a year in the life. There would be times where I would pause it and talk to my wife and her friend when we were watching it, and it's just like, hey, wait a second, did this happen in the TV show? Like, because I've not seen all the episodes straight through. I've seen like bits and pieces here when my wife watches as background noise. So I would ask a question, right? And it would just be like, why don't you just watch and find out? Like, they were doing that back at me. So I'm just as guilty as it. But we get spoiled by that. And I think the beauty of seeing a film, like, here's the thing, I probably will love Manchester by the Sea. I think I'll like it a lot better than the party I'm seeing it with tomorrow. But yeah. So anyway, this podcast is about things I'm looking forward to film-wise for 2017. And it kind of, you'll probably kind of see this kind of ties into what I was telling you before. Like, I kind of go to the theater for, the spectacle of it all. So, as a matter of fact, there's a lot here that are mostly spectacle movies. I would say there's maybe two that are really not spectacle movies per se. They make use of the theory behind it, but they're a bit of a different thing, and I'll talk about it here in a second. The first one that we're talking about that I'm looking for, I'm doing these in order as the release dates as of a day or so ago. I'm recording this on the 13th of January. So yeah. John Wick Chapter 2 comes out on February 10th, and John Wick was one of those movies I saw the trailer of, and you kind of laugh at the premise. It's like Snakes on a Plane. A man has a dog. His dog dies. He gets pissy and shoots a bunch of people over the dog. Like, that's a whole... That's like an episode... That's like a sketch, right? But they found a way to make a whole movie out of it, and it's Keanu Reeves, who is a badass motherfucker, right? And I remember we, at my old job, it was during the weekend because I used to work the weekends all the time at my old job, and when we weren't busy, we would watch a movie, and we would pause it if we started getting busy, but we would watch the movie, and I remember John Wick, we watched John Wick, and oh my god, it was such a fun movie. It was actually good. Now, was it the best movie I've ever seen? No, but, for a shoot 'em up, it had enough kernels there that it was world building, and you don't see that a lot in an action movie necessarily. And it made me really excited I kind of wanted to see more, and I loved it. I absolutely loved John Wick. One of my favorite, because he fucking murders you. If you've pissed John Wick off and he's coming for you, you goddamn better hope and pray that he just has to shoot you once. My favorite part of the first movie is he takes a car, hits a dude with it, and he's a big fan of the double tap, right? So not only did he kill the guy with the car, but as the guy rolls over the windshield and the top of the car, he takes his gun and just like shoots him like 4 times as he rolls over the back of the. I mean, that motherfucker's dead from the car hit. But then John Wick makes sure he double taps that shit. Actually, he quarter taps it. However you want to say that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to John Wick Chapter 2. Ian McShane was in the first one. And again, they really did world build a lot. I would say it's an action movie. Go with that in mind if you haven't seen the first one yet. But it's really a good action movie. Like, it's not in the same vein as Lethal Weapon. I think Lethal Weapon is a great action movie, kind of like Die Hard and Die Hard with a Vengeance. They're very unique and very fun. John Wick is a fun movie too, but there's some other stuff going on. It's very much world building in a very unique way that you're not expecting, and that's all I'm going to say. I really don't want to overhype it too much because, again, maybe it's because I had such low expectations that I was blown away by the first movie. No pun intended. So maybe keep that in mind. But I personally love the first one, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing the second one, and I wouldn't mind seeing it in theaters. The next movie on March, there's 2 movies that come out on March 3rd. This is where we get into, the normal area. March 3rd is T2 Trainspotting. I really love that, T2 Trainspotting. It's a sequel to Trainspotting. Danny Boyle is coming back as the director, and with I think most of the cast to Trainspotting. Actually, I think all the major players are back. Ian McGregor, obviously. And then I can't think of his name. He was in Eli Stone, and it makes me very sad. I cannot think of his name. He's on Elementary right now. He's coming back. Robert Carlyle, I think that's his name. He's coming back. And he's never done a sequel before. Danny Boyle's never done a sequel. He's not done a sequel for somebody else. He's not done a sequel to his own work. So this is very unique, and he's always kind of said, I'll never do a sequel, And then within the last 6 years, he started changing his tune a bit, and I think that's really awesome. So I kind of want to see if the experiment pays off, because the first movie, while I didn't love it, I understood why it was important, and I liked what Boyle felt like he had something to say, even though it necessarily wasn't his story. It was based on the book. And of course, all the actors were amazing. And I mean, that the baby scene was gut-wrenching and just trippy as shit. So I'm really excited to see what they'll do in this one. Also, March 3rd, Logan, the possibly last Hugh Jackman Wolverine movie. Look, people, they're going to throw a lot of money at him for him to do Wolverine and Deadpool, and that's probably what will happen. But the normal continuity-wise, I'm going to say, is Logan. And I really love the fact that the Wolverine movies themselves kind of tie into the storylines that they've done in the movies, but for the most part, they're almost like they've turned into art pieces. The first one is a piece of shit. It's a shitty piece of art, right? But the Wolverine and Logan, I think they're very distinctive and they're very unique. And I'm for all the flaws that the Wolverine had, I enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, I have the director's cut and I still haven't seen that. I need to get on that shit. I pre-ordered that like years ago, and I got it right when it came out. How excited I was for that extended cut. Sorry if you hear me drinking my water. Yeah, but that's on March 3rd as well, and I'm really excited for that. March 10th, Kong, King of Skull Island. Look, G-Zilla is my homeboy, son. But you know what? Kong, he the king, too. I mean, he's not the king of the monsters, but he a king. Yeah, so, he's got 2 fine hams packing in his dress. But seriously, though, Kong, King of Skull Island, Tom Hiddleston, and wow, this is horrible. I would never do this, and now I do it all the time. The girl that was in the movie The Room, she also was in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World as the ex-girlfriend who's in the band. She's also now playing Captain Marvel. She is awesome. I think she's adorable. But she's in it as well, and so is John Goodman, Samuel L. Jackson. The movie looks really good, and I think and of course it's all leading up really to King Kong versus Godzilla, which, whatever. But it's really great. I'm really looking forward to it, and it would be nice to see a King Kong movie where maybe it's more action-packed. Peter Jackson's King Kong, while really good, it's not a movie you can watch a lot. It's literally, I mean, the last half you can, but you know what I mean? It kind of drags a bit, and yeah. All right, March 17th, Beauty and the Beast. This is a remake, but you know, it looks really good. It looks really, really good. It's not like frickin' I don't know much about it yet, but I heard that we're going to hear news soon here about Tim Burton's live-action Dumbo, and I'm like, wait, what? No freaking way. I'm sorry. That does not sound awesome to me. Well, let me put it this way. It would sound awesome to me if freaking Tim Burton wasn't the one freaking doing it, but I digress. I'm sorry. I have lost faith in Tim Burton over the years. Like, all he does now is projects that are not his own. Like, look, I don't think he wrote Beetlejuice, but you could tell he was all over that, like some of his designs for some of the things, and it felt very much like a Tim Burton movie. Edward Scissorhands, same kind of thing. But when was the last time we've really seen a movie like that? You know, and look, here's the thing, man. I do my fan projects, and if I was actually had the power that he had, I would be doing the same thing he would be doing. But the thing is that's kind of depressing about it is that he has such, like, I don't have a unique voice. I don't have a, not really. I don't have a unique, I'm like a fan, I'm a fan, right? So to me, it makes sense that I would do the things that I do. And if I would be like in his position, I'd be doing like, I would be remaking, I would jump at a chance to do a Star Wars or Star Trek, or actually both. Just like J.J. Abrams did. I'd do a Godzilla movie. I would do a Gremlins movie. I would fucking fight like hell for doing Ninja Turtles. But that's what I'm saying. Like, but you would expect that from me. You know, I don't expect, I mean, if the movie has a weird dark undertone to it, I guess I understand it a little bit because that's Tim Burton, but it doesn't strike me as unique. Now, here's the thing. He might not get the chance to do movies like that. And you know what? That's okay. I mean, not really, but at least then there's an excuse for it. But I feel like he doesn't look for that. He doesn't go for it. I think he's just like, you know what? I'm a fan now. I'm just going to do my fan stuff. But then I'm going to do kind of shitty versions of it. That's my opinion. I have not seen Miss Peregrine's Home for Exceptional Children. But what I can tell you is I enjoy his earlier work, and he is a good director. That's the sad thing. It's just that his penchant for writing stories is maybe not as good as it was in the beginning. But yeah. But so Beauty and the Beast, though, it kind of feels like it will be The Jungle Book. Now, granted, Beauty and the Beast was already a great movie. The Jungle Book, in retrospect, was not a great movie. I love The Jungle Book, and I think it was one. It was one of my favorite movies of last year. Now, I have not seen Pete's Dragon. See, that's the thing. Even if you love the original movies, like, look, growing up, I loved The Jungle Book. But if you watch it now as an adult, even with nostalgia kicking in, it feels like a series of vignettes that are just sketches. You know, they don't really seem as cohesive. Jon Favreau and his team at Disney really made The Jungle Book live action kind of, you know, seem together. And make it work as a story, like a very beginning, middle, and end story. And I feel the Beauty and the Beast will do a great job of that. That's March 17th. Also, March 17th is a film that, and I want to be clear, I am not a horror guy. The Belko Experiment. I am a fan of James Gunn, though. I haven't seen Super yet. Or no, I have seen it, but I don't really remember much of it. Which is odd, but Super, yeah, I saw it a long time. I think I was really kind of drunk when I saw it, because I think it just got on Netflix, and I came home from drinking, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go watch a movie now, and I because Kevin Bacon's, I remember Kevin Bacon's, and he's the bad guy, and it's Rainn Wilson and Ellen Page. Yeah. Anyway, Belko Experiment is a James Gunn joint. He produced it, and I think he wrote it, but it's about what if this company forces all its employees to fight to the death. I'm kind of fascinated by that, and some of the cast members look really good. They're like character actors, which makes me even more excited for it. But it's called the Belko Experiment, and so I'm really looking forward to that. Again, I'm not a big fan of horror, even though because it does tend to go very horrorish, kind of in terms of like the blood splatter, like overextended violence kind of thing. But that's kind of Gunn style. Like I loved Gunn's movie Slither. I think Slither is one of the best horror films I have ever seen, because it engages me fully. It has some creepy moments in there, some great creature feature kind of stuff. But there's kind of a story going on in there too. It's a monster movie, so there's that too. But the story is actually pretty decent. So we're looking forward to that. Now, April 7th, the movie Wonder. Now, I've not seen any trailers for this. I've seen trailers for all the rest of these I'm talking about, but except for one other one. There's two other ones I'll talk about in a second. But Wonder looks, if you ever read the book, is, oh my god, heartbreaking, and it's good. It's a good book, and I'm actually kind of petrified because when I heard that the movie was coming out this year, I was like, it is? I haven't seen a trailer for it yet, but and I saw Julia Roberts is in it, and I kind of went like, oh, gag. I don't know why. I feel like Julia Roberts is kind of above everybody else. I don't see her in a very human role anymore, which is very horrible to say, because I'm sure she's a very lovely person and she's a wonderful actress and other things I've seen her, but I've not seen her in something in a long time that makes me go, you know what? You're the every person. Like, it's not like Tom Hanks, where I see Tom Hanks and I go, that dude can fucking play anything. But matter of fact, we don't really see him as a villain barely at all, so that would be neat to see him do. But that's April 7th, so I'm intrigued about that. But it's if you don't know what it is, the book is about a boy named Auggie, and he has facial issues, and he's deformed, but he is a smart and very intelligent boy, and he starts going to school, and it's about his journey, his year in school, and the tragedy of growing up with the added dimension of what Auggie has to deal with, and that, there's multiple sides to every story. And it's a really, really good book. Matter of fact, I remember reading it as a wannabe director. I was like, oh my god, this is how I would end this movie. And I'm really wondering if they'll do that or not, but I digress. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, May 5th. Come on. I mean, for shame if you didn't think that would be on my list. June 2nd, I know. Now this one I'm very much looking forward to. Is Wonder Woman, and it's not because I kind of want to see the accident unfold before me. No, this movie actually looks good, and I'm very looking forward to it. Spider-Man Homecoming, July 7th. I already told you in the trailer how I feel about it. When we saw Rogue One again, I saw it again. I actually started feeling more excited about it, and a little bit more pumped. But Spider-Man Homecoming, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Dunkirk, oh my god. We saw in front of the Star Wars Rogue One, the 8-minute trailer. Oh my god. Both my wife and I were both like, we need to see this movie. That's July 21st. Thor Raganok. Now, there's not been a trailer for this one either. We've seen lots of clips. We've heard a lot of clips, etc. But that opens November 3rd. A few weeks later, November 17th, Justice League. This is what I was saying earlier about talking about Wonder Woman. I kind of have this on the list because I'm looking forward to seeing a train wreck. You got it. November 17th, Justice League. And then finally, Star Wars Episode 8, December 15th. I mean, really? Come on. I am very much so looking forward to that. And I will probably cry at the end when they do a nod to Carrie Fisher. Or something like that. They probably will, and it will break my motherfucking heart. But yeah, so those are the films I'm looking forward to in 2017. Here's a question, though. What films are you looking forward to? Hashtag GBG 2017. Tweet us. Do it on Facebook, too. Or leave us a voicemail on Skype, 614-364-4088. And just say, hey, Nick, these are the movies I'm looking forward to in 2017. And or tweet me or email me at goodbadgeeky@gmail.com, or use the contact us link on our page, gbgpodcast.com. And we might read your stuff on a future episode. So thanks, everybody, for listening. We are soups excited, y'all, about the year of 2017. We hope you'll really enjoy what we have in store for you. And thanks for listening.
Get out of here without cheese! You're a creep! Go away! We're having a good time until you showed up, cheapers! Go have some coffee with cream or something! Because I'll tell you something! This is a happy place!